Hey, everybody. It's Wednesday. You know what that means. Yes, that's right. It's time for Sarcastic Distractions, the interesting podcast for interesting people, featuring, as always, the Gentleman Society of Podcasting. Myself, Harvey, my heterosexual life mate, David, the ever
Hey.
loving AJ.
Great Scott.
And we ask, due to the current conditions of our world, the virus is running rampant on our streets. We are doing another remote episode. Hopefully, not too many more of these, but either way, we're grateful to be able to meet and chit chat about the stuff we love to
I
chat
just
about.
picture a gang of viruses or viri running around.
Oh, they're outside, yeah, roaming around, or they're banging in the cars. How's that theme go?
The Warriors? No, not the
the Warriors
yeah,
theme.
Warriors. Gung, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. I was thinking them on their Harley Davidson motorcycles because they're biker viruses, just
because they're all spiky.
Exactly. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And we couldn't figure it out. What we're talking about today is not how the virus is affecting our world. But we're talking about something we would do if we could, and that is time travel. And well, I'll let AJ take it away, but more specifically, how it relates to media and us and all that good stuff. And yeah, traveling through time.
Well, even our thoughts and ponderances on the subject itself, not necessarily media and pop culture and whatnot.
Sure.
But oh man, where to begin? Where do you begin with time travel in movies and media?
I know. There's Back to the Future seems to be like
Back to the Future.
I mean, that's the
H.G. Wells.
Yeah, it's true. H.G. Wells.
Right? What was that story called? The Time Machine.
Time Machine, yeah. Yep.
Or something like that. Yeah, that was a pretty crazy one.
That was nuts. Yeah.
But no, just the idea of time travel, I guess, and the differences in what people like. You could take Back to the Future, for instance. There were certain downfalls that came with running into your past or your future self or something like that, right? Like you could rip a hole in the space-time continuum, or
you just faint.
Yeah, you could like, or you just faint. Yeah, like Jennifer did in part 2 there. But then there's other ones like Time Cop. I don't know if you guys remember that.
That was
a Time Cop. How could you forget that
award-winning movie?
Yeah.
But the idea is the same matter can't occupy the same space, right? So they got all gelatinous and whatnot when they touched their future or past selves. And I just think it's a neat idea. I ponder it every so often. Like, I think you could go back to the past and then there would be that whole butterfly effect thing, you know, like you change one thing and shit goes all cattywampus, or it goes better or whatever. You're changing something in the future. But do you guys think you could go to the future?
It's funny you say it that way, because
what would that be?
Yeah, from my perspective, it's more likely you can go to the future than the past.
Really?
Yeah, because if you get up to a certain speed, in theory, time does affect you differently than, this is my understanding of even the really real world. It affects you differently than people who are currently on the planet. So I can't remember the exact novel, but I remember it being a great story that you get on a spaceship and you fly to some space station or some other universe. And, for you, it's been a year. For people back on Earth, it's been 10 years.
Right,
like
right.
That.
Yeah, I've heard that theory as well.
Yeah.
I was thinking, okay, well, maybe you could travel to the future, but your future wouldn't change.
No, it's you physically. Yeah, it's not something where you can't go back and forth. That's my perspective.
Like it wouldn't be like Back to the Future 2, where Marty goes to the future and sees his old self. Well, if he didn't end up going back to the past where he came from, then his life wouldn't have progressed any further.
Yeah.
Right? Because he just would have disappeared and he wouldn't exist.
Exactly. Yeah.
He's just not there anymore.
Yeah. Oh, no, and again, that's what I mean. From an entertainment perspective, I love things like Back to the Future, Terminator, things like that. Kick-ass, chew bubblegum, like good times. And when it comes to the really real, from my opinion, there's definitely zero going back in the past, because if we ever figured out a way to do that, it would have been done. And then, of course, the follow-up to that is future. I do think you can, as I kind of described, by speed and, variances and things that I'm not aware of. But once you go, like, you are not in the present anymore. It's like any sort of travel.
I guess my thought is you could go back to the past because the past has already happened, right? So you can go back to a point in time that's already played out, if you will. Like it's the actions of the event have played out or whatnot, but it'd be more difficult to go to the future because the future isn't written yet.
Yeah, I have the different perspective, I must admit. Chris, all right, solve this.
Tiebreaker. I kind of lean toward Dave saying, like, logically speaking, what he's saying, like, I kind of have that same perception. However, I do believe that if time travel is possible to go back and forth, we have to do something we haven't done yet. We have to break physics in a way that we don't understand, or, you know what I mean? Like, we have to discover something to be able to do that if it is possible. Let's say we do that. I think if it's possible, it's probably in line with what kind of Marvel's doing with time travel, where like you can't really go back because you're not yourself going back. You know what I mean? Like, you're mixing up timelines. It doesn't make sense. So I really think, as it stands, yeah, we probably can figure out a way to travel forward in time. But in order to travel backwards, we're gonna have to. It's impossible. I don't know how. I can't think of.
So that's where
break the brain.
Where the flux capacitor comes into play, right?
Right.
Going back.
Yeah, exactly. Something like a flux capacitor.
That's what the flux
sense,
capacitor
right?
does. Is it sends you backwards.
Exactly.
But there's something else that sends you. It's the speed. It's the 88 miles an hour that sends you forward.
Right. The 88 miles per hour. Yeah, for sure.
He's gonna go reverse and then he can go backwards, and you're fine.
Exactly.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, what are you going?
Like Scrooge. You can go to the past, but you can only look at it. You can't actually change anything.
Yeah, that's probably possible. I think I agree with something like that too. I think that might be you can view into the past some way, somehow. We'll probably figure that out, but I don't know how you could go and infect it. I just don't. I can't.
So like through like a total recall thing through like memories or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
You could, like,
yeah. I think when we get
tap into your memories and then go relive that, but not like it's not affecting the future or the present, if you will.
Yeah.
It's more like a holodeck kind of experience.
Exactly.
Sort of thingy.
When we get into the neuro transmitter stuff, where like the computers in our brains, which is just around the corner, that's the first thing we'll start doing. We'll start mapping memories and starting to create ways to turn our thoughts and our memories into some sort of reality, right? And then that's how we'll start to visit the past. It's based off that information. Yeah. But like you can't do anything with it. Like, it's not actually going to be.
That was a show, and I can't remember, something on Netflix where they had something like that.
Yeah.
It was an episode on. It's like a
Black Mirror
things.
Black Mirror.
Yeah, one of those ones. Yeah, there was one of those that was very similar, and people would actually watch their memories if they liked it.
Right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Had a really good scene where the couple was having a nice, sex, but of course neither was actually in the moment. They were looking at past memories of them having sex.
Right, and enjoying what their memories of it were. Right. Yeah, exactly. I know. Fucking hilarious. Yeah. So I think through that type of technology we'll have that, but we're gonna have to do something. I don't know what to really break whatever understanding of science we know to be able to actually like go back in time or go forward in time in a real sense. We're gonna have to do a snap or something. I don't know. Infinity does it.
Maybe it has to do with being able to have the technology to like transport things. Right?
Yeah.
So like we were talking about transporters, I think it was in our Star Trek discussion there.
Guaranteed.
So if they do come up with the technology of being able to move molecules from one point to another,
you mean other than a car? Sorry, couldn't resist.
Yes, jerk face. Sorry. Thanks, Captain Pooh Face. But so then, yeah, because I mean, if it caught on, I guess people in the future would have said teleportation device that you could go from like our point to the future teleportation device.
Yeah.
Right?
More to the point is, we're going to bring up Star Trek. We really got to think of Voyage Home.
Oh yeah.
Well, I was actually thinking about that too, and that was one of the I'm thinking like pop culture kind of things where the rules that we were familiar with in regards to time travel didn't seem to apply as much.
No, well, I also think that in that case, again, if we're going to go down this wonderful path, there's no opportunity for them. They weren't there to hurt anybody, kill anybody. That was nothing.
Right.
And again, they can never meet themselves or anybody in their ancestry that they would truly know. They just wanted to borrow a couple of whales. That's all.
Just a couple whales.
But even doing that didn't I mean, there's also the theory that doing something as simple or as trivial as saving a couple whales could affect how the future goes down too, right? Yeah. So, but it seemed like that wasn't part of the plot, right? Like, there wasn't some big warning of like, don't fuck with the past because you'll fuck up the future, sort of thing.
Yeah, no, it was just it was just a voyage home. It was just Star Trek being Star Trek with a low budget, but still be able to have a good time.
Yeah, for sure.
And then there's Spock going through the wormhole in the reboot.
Oh yeah.
Right.
That's
right.
And that whole one was all based off of time travel and it being a different I guess different timeline if you want to look at it in the Marvel sense, right?
Yeah. Well, and I do think that is one thing. If any sort of time management or manipulation is possible, it is really about being in that path. But of course, if you try to go down that thinking of, well, time travel, or if you make a decision that just it's an opportunity for the time to split. Well, it's like, well, fuck, think of every decision that every person's ever made. We're having that many splits.
Yeah. That is the one problem with the dimensional theory is like, wait a minute. Are you like, you're talking about infinite dimensions. Like, infinite. Like it's hard to just wrap your mind around infinite space out there.
Yeah.
Imagine that like times infinite.
Right?
I'm fine with just infinite, but infinitely infinite?
Preposterous. Yeah. Can't be done. But yeah, it's a very good point, AJ. I like the idea of time travel. I want it to be possible through all of the media. I think as time goes, hopefully we're smart enough to figure out some new ideas outside of our understandings now to let that type of information in where we can figure things out. Like I think studying black holes and wormholes and all that stuff is hopefully will lead in that direction. But even all the information they found, nothing's really led to a positive, time travel like is real. Aside from the fact that, well, you can go through the wormhole and you might have traveled forward in time, possibly. However, you didn't survive it. Like if it did happen, if there's anything
spaghettified or whatever, right?
Yeah, exactly. Right. So so maybe we'll make wormhole standing ships one day to figure out what the hell that is. But maybe we'll just flood a DeLorean up there, you know.
I'll take the
random
for sure.
Random stoned thought of the day. We're all time traveling right now.
Ah, yes, we are. And we'll all travel faster later on tonight.
Well, I mean, that's the old joke. Yeah, you know what? I have a time travel machine. It's upstairs. I'm going to close my eyes, fall asleep, and instantly it'll be like 6-7 hours later.
Right?
The technology, I tell you.
But you can't time travel when you're running because the same amount of time is going to pass, right? You're just going to get to your destination faster.
Well, but if you overdo
like a minute's still a minute. Oh, there. Okay, there you go.
That's right. You will. You force time travel upon yourself.
Do a marathon, go full tilt, and you'll just suddenly hit that wall, pass out, and poof, you'll be.
You broke.
I guess what? That's why they say. That's why they say time. I guess that's why they say time travel's relative, right?
It is.
Or time is relative. Oh, you guys disappeared on me. Oh man, technical difficulties.
That's exactly it. It's pardon?
Oh, I'm having some technical difficulties.
Oh, okay. All right.
Hold on a sec here.
You're kind of coming through.
I don't know why.
There you go. You're fine now. All right.
There we go.
All right.
Okay. Whoa. Time travel. I just traveled through time, guys.
Oh shit!
I just fucking did it, man.
It's Agent from the future.
Whoa! What's up, man? Hey, so let me tell you, in the past, the screen glitches, man.
Yeah, we know, AJ. We experienced that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
In the future, it stops and it gets better.
Oh, like
Oh, wait,
everything,
you guys
or
are
just the
here now
screen?
too, but so that means you guys time traveled. Wait a second.
Yeah, the only thing about time traveling movies is it's usually a personal story, a very selfish story, typically, right? Like I'm trying to think of a good example. Well, Back to the Future is one. It's all about trying to save his family, but trying to delicately, walk through time so you don't fuck things up, So I'd like to see, like, the thing is, what if everybody was time traveling? You know what I mean? I'd like to see that.
No, that's why it doesn't exist. I do want to call a thing, though. I actually disagree with you on the Back to the Future. There was no time travel to try and save his family. It was because at the beginning of the first one, the doctor gets shot because he pretended to sell the uranium, and he ran off and accidentally time traveled to the past.
My bad. You're absolutely right. He did it. He did time travel in the past, took the opportunity to go back home, and then it worked out that he saves his family. And
it just happened to be that way.
All right, my bad.
And then in the second one, Doc kidnaps him.
Yeah, that was a bit rough.
And takes him to the future.
Yeah.
And then he has to save his family, and he fucks everything.
Okay, then I don't know what I'm talking about then. Okay.
But then in the third,
you're more correct around this.
In the third one, he voluntarily time travels.
Right. Voluntarily does it. That's right.
Yeah.
He voluntarily goes to the past to get Doc.
Right. Save family.
So you're saying right.
Save his
the original, it was random. Afterward, it was on purpose. Fine.
That's true. Okay. Either way. But my point being is I would just like to see some media where, like, everybody's able to just travel through time, like back and forth.
Like it's driving a car.
Yeah, exactly. Where just you go back and forth, like, oh shit, I fucked last Wednesday up. I'm gonna go back and do that meeting over again.
And right there is the reason why real time travel, at least as I said, to the past, cannot be true. Imagine if everybody time traveled.
Oh, the world would be constantly changing.
Well, no, we'd all be
shit around you. Shit around you would constantly be changing.
Yeah, like just think about us living normal lives and how much we kind of mess things up. Now give us the power of time travel. Oy vey.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that could maybe work is if it was like Terminator time travel, ignoring the whole androidy concept for a moment, and when you got shot back, you were completely nude. That could maybe.
Oh, yeah.
No way traveling, but you could be shot to the past, and that's it. You can't.
But then that's a one-way ticket, right? Mm-hmm. That'd be a one-way ticket. There's no going forward in Terminator.
That I could see maybe in reality. Because then you have that choice of, do I want to go to this point in the past, be completely naked, and have to somehow work it out? And most people would be like, thank you.
Then I'll deal with this shitty reality, thanks.
Yeah.
I know the future sucks, but I don't know what's going to happen when I'm naked and alone in the past.
Yeah. Like, don't be wrong. I would love to go and experience the 70s just because I think that would be a great decade for me. But to go and arrive completely new to be talking about how I just wanted to come back and have a great time, where are they going to put me? Yeah, we all know.
That's true.
If it's in the 70s, they're just going to blame it on drugs, call you a hippie, and send you on your way.
Yeah, or lock me up in a room. But fair enough, they might just go that path. I'd be all right with that.
I think you'd be safe if you landed in the 70s, late 60s, mid to late 60s, and then mid 70s. You'd be fine.
Then I'd be fine. That's fair.
Because I mean, there's hippies walking around naked all over the place, talking about seeing dragons coming out of trees and shit.
Yeah,
there's a lot of that going on. Psychedelic revolution. Speaking of time travel, maybe that's how you do it, is through psychedelics. Maybe that's the only way to do it.
You have that perception.
No, that's like interdimensional, man. Like the DMT ayahuasca shit.
Ooh.
That's like another plane of existence. That's like the 7th dimension.
That's true. People really believe they're not on this plane anymore when they're on that shit. So yeah.
Oh yeah, time doesn't exist.
For sure. Do you guys have any favorite time traveling stories outside of Back to the Future?
I did enjoy Quantum Leap back in the day.
Yeah.
I know Quantum Leap. And again, one could argue, and even throughout the story, the original first few seasons, not when they started having the bad person sort of float around. But yeah, one could argue that they always had the story pretty much tied around what actually happened in the past. But of course, our experience was because he was there to fix it.
Right. Yeah. I like
and
that.
It was always the past. He never went to the future.
No. And you only could go in his lifetime. Yeah, you can never go outside of that time frame. It had to be his lifetime.
No, he went back to like the 30s and shit, didn't he?
Nope.
No?
No, it had to be in his lifetime.
I thought he went back further than.
Nope.
Because I know he did like 50s and stuff
like the 50s or something. Which for him and the time that it was, blah, 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 it made sense. But no, my memory of it anyway, I could be wrong, is that, it had to be in his lifetime. You can go outside his lifetime.
Okay. I can't remember.
Which, of course, one thing again, just the reality thing of it, even if I'm correct, I love it. I actually like it because I thought it did well for the story. But why did they have that rule? Because there was no budgeting to get outside of,
Exactly. That's exactly it. It's a writing trope to make sure they don't have to spend too much money. Exactly.
Yeah. You can't go back to dinosaurs or fucking medieval ages or any of this shit.
Yeah. No future shit. No future shit.
No future shit. It was only just.
You see these sets we got around us? Yeah, this is the time period. You're able to go back in.
Your lifetime.
So true.
But yeah, that's my memory. It had to be in his lifetime. I could be wrong.
No,
you guys remember a show called Early Edition?
Barely.
Where the guy would like wake up in the morning and there'd be a cat on his doorstep that had the newspaper for the next day, and he was supposed to solve some kind of.
Yeah, I remember.
I do remember that. Yes.
Some problem or mystery or whatever that he saw as an article in the newspaper.
Yeah.
I guess kind of like Quantum Leap, only different.
Yeah. There's not
like
one
the premise of having to solve the problem to get through to the next day sort of thing.
Yeah.
I remember. I don't remember. It was one of those. I don't remember hating it, but I never got into it personally.
Yeah. I remember it. I remember it being decent, but not one of those ones where you'd like watch every episode and make sure you timed out your week around it, sort of thing.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Remember those days? Shit.
I know.
Oh crap! Thursday at 8. No, I'm not doing shit.
Right?
I'm staying home. I know.
Survivor's on.
Yeah. Now I was like, I'll just catch it when I catch it.
Yeah. Well, binge watch. That's the other big thing.
That's true. So much binge watching.
Would that be like time travel? You're going back. You're going to watch a show that happened 2 days ago.
I don't think so. Really?
No, that wouldn't be a form of time travel. Like, say it's Friday and there was a show on Thursday, but you watch it on Friday.
Well, but that's no different. Yeah, no, because I guess in some ways it's kind of like a Scrooged time travel, because you can see it, you can experience it, but you can't change or interact with it.
Right.
But I guess technically for a TV show, you can't do that even if you watch it the Thursday at 7 or 8.
That's true.
That's true. So then, like watching like a live stream, like an old live stream on YouTube or something like that, where you can't actually like comment in the live chat or anything like that. But if you'd watched it 2 days ago, you could have commented and done stuff and changed the future.
You make a good point, AJ.
You are viewing the past that you cannot interact with.
Yep.
It is actually a good argument, though, because in a lot of ways, like you get to view a lot of the past, read the past, too, because, again, stories, novels, that's one thing, TV shows. But I guess we are at that point where think of the things that people video and take of themselves across YouTube and platforms like that. You're going to watch this type of thing 50 years from now. Like, you're going to have grandkids going, Grandma, is that you? Yeah, that's me. Why are you wearing so little clothes? Well,
So true. And, it's going to turn, like we're talking about, it will be like holographic memories. It'll be, people will be able to see 3D movies of your life in that capacity. And they're like, yeah. That's
well, no, that might be a technology that exists then, but they won't see it of our life.
Oh, yeah, no. Yeah.
Right.
Unless they unless you download your brain into something.
Oh, I'm going to upload my brain.
Later on, when they have that.
Yeah.
Okay, so when they have that technology, they'll be able to download your brain into that device and experience your life in 3D from your perspective.
Yeah. No, yeah. That's fair.
But you have to upload your brain.
Oh, I'm cool with that. As soon as this technology
Cool with that.
exists where I can upload my brain to the internet, like I've seen Lawnmower Man. Oh yeah, I'm going. Going. Nothing to do
I was
with
gonna
time
say
travel,
Dave's
like,
gonna be
no, I
fucking Johnny
understand it.
Mnemonic over here.
Sorry.
So Dave's gonna be Johnny Mnemonic over
I
here.
love that he just goes straight to fucking Lawnmower Man. Like that's his future. That's it. There's no other better future where you could. No, it's Lawnmower Man, where you become a psycho fucking.
Lawnmower Man. What do
That's,
you want?
A psycho polygon man.
I know. If you become Lawnmower Man, I'm terrified. I'm like,
Oh yeah, I'm
he's
moving.
like the Freddy Krueger of the internet. I know.
Well, I'm just gonna call your phones.
That's, oh my god, that's great. I'm definitely down. Yeah, let's do it. Time travel. I mean, I mean, I'm trying to think of how we would do that. I think you're right, Dave. I think it would have to be like a Terminator thing. You can go back, but that's your whole life. You gotta live.
But yeah, that's it. Like that's that. You're done. Yeah. You're not going forward.
Yeah.
There's no going back. Well, I guess because the technology, if you go back far enough, the technology doesn't exist to send you forward.
Yeah. Well, again, I think also you can go forward, right? But it'd be you doing that whole. It's forward for you, but but I guess if you could go back, so that's fair. If we ever get to a point where we do travel in space in such a way that the timeline for me is, 1 day, but the timeline for Earth is 100 days. And I have the ability to travel backwards in this time period, then technically time travel has been solved.
That is true. Yeah, that is a.
Well, I guess
naked and stuff, but they're expecting me because they know this exists, and then I can super fly forward in space.
If you're relating it to the time on Earth, then if you were to go to a planet that's further away from the sun, that only does so many rotations around the sun, because I think, what is it, like Pluto or whatever still hasn't made one full rotation around the sun in the amount of time that we've been exploring space. So it hasn't even been a Plutonian year or some shit like that in our lifetime or in the lifetime of us taking notes on things.
Well, but that's also about perception. So yeah, a year is.
So what are we relating it to, right? Are we relating it to Earth time? So if that's the case, then the further away from the sun you go, you're still aging in Earth time, but the numerical time is going to be different.
Yes, I understand. I believe I understand what you're saying, but in that context, you're still going to die after, 80 Earth years, but in your particular location, maybe it hasn't been a full year.
Right.
Yeah, your body is your body is your body.
Yeah, and time it's a man-made idea, right?
Perception.
It's a perception. Yeah.
Like, is it though?
Yeah.
Well, time is the sun is time.
But there was a time when we knew
from the
sun
rising to the sun setting. That's a specific amount of life.
But that's just us putting a measure.
So
that's all that is.
Yep.
Like us. We tracked it and be like, okay, all right, that's 24 hours. What's an hour? Okay, well, let's figure that out. I mean, I'm completely paraphrasing. I'm sure that's not how it was put together. But
that thing had to happen for that designation to happen too, though, right? Like, it's not just because the designation happened now that's time. That's just us putting a name to it, to what was already happening.
Oh yeah.
Right. The sun coming up and the sun going down happened before there was this concept of time, but it was still happening.
Yes.
Right. So even if it wasn't named, it was still time was still going by.
I would say this: age exists. Everything ages.
Yes.
Right. In some capacity or another. Time only exists to humans.
Yes.
That's what I would say.
It's our perception on what is happening.
Yeah, time in the concept that we understand it. Yes, I will agree with that.
Yeah, because imagine if we had two suns.
Right, like Tatooine.
Yeah, well, even more than Tatooine. Like, imagine if it was never night.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, it is sometimes up north. It's never night.
Yeah, good call. That is, and then it's always night.
They go through like. Was it 6 to 8 months of like darkness and then 6 to 8 months of sunlight or some silly shit like that?
Yep.
Yeah. So.
Oh, and that actually reminds me, there was some fellow that did some sort of dive. Did you guys bring that up? And was actually down underneath the sea for He tried to live in the ocean or something. Or no, it was in a tunnel underground or something, and tried to see how long he could live there and his perception of time and all that stuff if there was nothing around. So he tried to keep track himself of what day it was and things like that. And nobody told him what was happening. And then when he came up, he thought it was like, I don't remember the exact dates. He thought it was March 1st, but in reality, it was March 28th or something.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he had no electronics.
Not that far off then.
Yeah. Sorry?
He wasn't that far off then.
No, he wasn't that far off, but it's that concept of that time to you personally was different than what was actually happening because you had no context.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So that would be more like an animal, I guess, in a way, right? Because I'm sure animals experience some form of time passing, right? Like it's not just one minute it's day, 1 minute it's night for them, right? There is some experience of that length of I'm trying to find another word other than time because we've already explained that it's a human thing, right? But that length of existence, right?
If you want, I can sing the song.
What are you talking? Oh no! Don't sing that. It's a creepy song.
My side. Had to be done more.
I love it. I love it. Yeah.
Yeah. Shut up, Dave.
No, not at all. I'm just trying to extend on AJ's point. Yeah, we like every being experiences. Well, I don't know. Experience what it's like to go over birth, no longer here.
It was. Oh no!
So there he is. Oh, exactly.
Wow, this is just plagued with all kinds of technical difficulties tonight.
Oh, well, it's time travel. You're trying to just jump around future past.
I must be. I
told you don't.
I'm glad I'm not the one doing the video recording.
That's true. That's a good thing. But yeah, wait, where are we going with that? Time travel, right? Every being experiences their life cycle, whatever that is, and I think you will perceive that to some sort of timeline, I guess is the best way to put it. Like you'll have some, like you'll know through memory and through consciousness of what that life is. But I don't know about animals. I mean, yeah, animals know seasons and things, so I don't know. It's weird to think about them and their existence in time.
Because I understand they don't know when it's 12 o'clock.
No.
Right, but they know when
sure
it's feeding
like,
time.
okay, the sun was over here, and now the sun, that big ball in the sky, is over here, right?
Right.
So now we got to do this.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yeah. Like birds are like, ah, shit, it's cold, and we staying here no more. All right, let's fly south, and that's what they do.
Yep.
They fly south. Except I was out the other day with the dog, and I saw these geese that looked mighty confused. They did not know.
There's quite a few geese at the museum.
Yeah.
Like quite a few. Like
yeah, well, I think the problem there
gangs of roving geeses at the museum.
Yeah, it is the environment for sure. And that's the other thing. Does climate change affect time travel? Who knows? We don't.
Well, perception of it, maybe.
Yeah, for sure.
If the Earth were to slow down or speed up, like on its rotation, would that be considered some form of travel?
You're bringing up halting? Superman 2 rules. Okay, all right. Okay, so you're going with this.
Next time we talk about leaning tower.
It makes sense in theory though, because I don't know about the reversing time part of it, but like numerically, if the Earth were to speed up, days would go by quicker.
Yeah, I mean, it for whatever reason, like it doesn't quite make sense to me because yeah, it's a leap year, exactly. So life would still exist and things would change, obviously, if we speed up or slow down. But I don't see how time travel would happen. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I can't see us reversing the Earth rotation and going back in time. And I don't even know if we'd actually go forward in time per se. Think of the physics on that. Yeah, because like Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I guess it's relative, right? I guess it's relative to what's happening.
Well, that's just it. It's relative. Think Highlander 2. If there's no sun, there's no time travel really in it, but there's no sun.
That's true. That's true. That's good.
Which version of Highlander 2 are we talking about? Are we talking about the original or the director's cut? Because those are two completely different animals.
I don't know what I've seen the differences, to be honest. I don't like
the director's cut
Highlander
tries
2.
to flesh out the story and make it make more sense.
Oh, the director's cut.
Yeah, the director's cut tries to make it all make more sense, but
oh, nice.
Again, it as soon as you make them from a different planet, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I know it doesn't. I have to admit, it's definitely not a great movie. It's just that concept I thought was great as a kid. I tried to rewatch that one, and I couldn't do it.
No.
I can do the first one.
Oh, the first
I can
one.
do the first Highlander.
Yeah, the first one of the show. Those are those I can watch.
Yeah,
I can do the show.
Oh, I love the show. So good.
the show was good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
especially when Christopher Lambert makes I think he makes an appearance. And then they talk about how.
Well, they did a movie too.
And they did a movie together. Yep,
with both of them. Yeah, which that one wasn't terrible.
No, it was good actually. Yeah,
that one was pretty good.
I like that movie actually. I mean, I think
I could never do those like USA produced, like USA Network produced TV shows.
Yeah, they all kind of like the same kind of gloss to them.
Yeah, there's a layer of cheese on top of all of that shit.
Yeah.
What about
Yeah.
You guys ever watch that show Sliders? Wasn't it a time travel show?
It wasn't really a time travel show though. It was a dimensional show.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But it's my favorite. I love that show so much.
One could argue the dimensions were created because of different splices within the time.
And they actually do tackle that in the show. That is something that they do deal with. Yeah. Sorry.
And that's going back to the Marvel. Well, I guess Back to the Future had the same thing.
Yeah.
With Biff's timeline, right?
Yep. Going back and seeing how what your changes did, right?
Yeah, like Doc kind of explains it not as in depth as with the board, and it splits off. But then in the Marvel universe, what's her name from Doctor Strange there?
Yeah, the one what's her name? Tilda Sweeney played her. I can't remember.
Yeah, her character.
The ancient one. The ancient one.
Yeah, she explains it to the Hulk there a little more thoroughly as to how timelines work.
Right.
Right, because then you get timelines branching off from that timeline that was created from the original timeline, and so on and so forth. Yeah.
Which is probably true. So if time travel, that's probably how it's gonna work. Like
totally.
If time travel happens, then I could see it there being issues with branching off.
Yeah.
Right, because you make one branch and then you travel from that branch to another branch, creating another
branch.
Yeah.
Branch.
Another branch. Branchity branch.
That's right. Tree of traveling time. That's what it is.
Oh yeah, good call.
There you go. That's your next writing project.
Yeah.
The
Tree of traveling time. Hello. Hi. Sorry. Hi. Sorry. How do we do this? Oh, good. Yeah. Tree of traveling time. I'm sure it stars Justin Timberlake. And
Timberlake.
He was got a time travel.
Keanu Reeves.
Or
and Rachel McAdams.
Yeah, Rachel McAdams. Yeah, absolutely.
Wasn't it Keanu Reeves and Rachel McAdams? Weren't they in the one where he puts the note in the mailbox and she gets the note?
Yeah, that was a cool concept of time travel.
Was it like the lake house or some shit?
Yeah.
I think so, yeah. Yeah.
Was it Keanu Reeves? I don't remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I think you're right, yeah.
You guys ever watch a movie called Frequency? With
yes.
Dennis Quaid?
Long time ago. Yeah.
That's a great
How he's like using the CB radio to talk to his dad in the past or whatever.
That was fun.
Yeah.
Now that's a cool concept. That's a cool concept for I guess it wouldn't really necessarily be time travel.
No.
Because the only thing that was really traveling through time was the radio signal.
Yeah.
Right? People weren't traveling through time.
Right. It was a good like that concept. It was just it was a good one.
But yeah, I thought that was a good one. I guess that's kind of if you think about something was traveling through time at least, right? like radio
Yeah.
waves, as
Time
opposed to
travel
something
that was
physical.
similar, the race car driver and all that. He's about to crash the car and he gets pulled to the future or something. Shit. What was that?
Oh, Free Jack.
Free
Oh,
Jack.
Free Jack. Yeah, that movie was great. Wow.
With Emilio
Yeah.
and
Mick Jagger.
Mick Jagger.
That was a good one. It was like also the airplane one where they'd come on the airplane and take you away if the plane was going to crash or try and restart the future society.
Oh, I thought you were talking about, what was it, the Langoliers?
No, not Langoliers. It was, oh crap.
Lost.
No, not Lost either. That one's not time travel. They're just dead.
For sure.
I remember the first time I ever saw a preview for that show, and I looked at the girl I was dating at the time, and I said, "Watch last episode. They're all dead."
And I like, correct me if I'm wrong. Weren't they trying to like swerve people, saying, "Nope, that's not the case. They're not actually dead. No, this is whatever."
Of course they were.
Anyways, yeah. Of course not, yeah. Have you guys seen? It's a bit of a romantic comedy called About
Snakes
Time.
on a Plane.
What?
Snakes
Sorry?
on a Plane.
Not
Oh,
Snakes on a Plane.
About Time.
Yeah, it's actually cute.
Maybe? I don't know.
Rachel McAdams is in it. I think it's a British film.
Probably not.
But the whole concept of the film is a father passes on to his son that they have this family trait where they're able to travel through time. And they do it by basically going into a closet. It's a really interesting concept of why I'm bringing this up, and I'll read that off in a second here. But the whole idea is you can go back and affect your life to just kind of smooth out the edges, if you will, to make things a little bit better. And then more or less, the moral of the movie is kind of just be happy with what you got, because you never know when you're not going to, have that time again.
Isn't that kind of like Groundhog's Day?
Very, very similar kind of rule, just set up in a different format and just using time travel rather than the same day repeating. Speaking of time travel, one could say Groundhog Day is that where you just repeat the same day over and over and over again.
Some form of time travel? Like time travel is
absolutely.
not necessarily going back and forth, right?
Time
travel could be that
he's
loop.
there. He's stuck in the loop. Exactly.
Yeah.
Can't get out of it. Yeah.
There's another one that was pretty decent, Looper.
Oh, yeah. That was really good.
I thought that was okay with Bruce Willis and Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah.
I don't know if I watched that one, I have to admit.
You'd have to, I don't know, for me to explain it, I would kind of give it away.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah. It was clever.
It's one
It
of
was
those-
clever. I liked it.
It's one of those like, ooh, twisty twist kind of things.
But it wasn't M. Night Shyamalan, so the time travel wasn't water or anything
No.
like that.
It wasn't a breeze.
Yeah, so-
Oh man, I want that like 2 hours of my life back from watching The Happening.
Oh, yeah. No,
I would really like to go and just ask M. Night Shyamalan for my life back.
What were you thinking?
Speaking of time travel, maybe that's what he can give you. It's like, well, I don't want my money back for the movie. No, I need you to give me my.
I want my
time
2
back.
hours.
Give
Just
me
give me
2 hours
2
back,
hours,
please.
please.
They give you the money. Yeah, I don't care how you do
realize
it. I need my 2 hours back, please. Like,
You realize you essentially like murdered me for 2 hours, right? Like I'm never getting that time back. You've stolen this time from me.
oh man,
Time thief.
no, the allure of time travel makes sense, right? Because we all want to go see what's going to happen next. We all want to see, how we can make things better in the past.
Yeah, do you really want to know what the future is? Really?
I
I
mean,
don't think I do.
these last 5 years, no. But up into these last 5 years, yeah, I was pretty excited. But I don't know, man. Like it's not gotten fun.
No, I'd and I don't even think I'd want to be able to go back to the past and be able to affect anything. Like I'd like to go and experience
Yes.
events
Yes.
and
Yeah,
whatnot.
sure.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'd also be afraid that like I want to go see what World War II was like. Well, then I got shot.
Yeah.
And then what happens? Like,
That's exactly
is
what
there some
happened.
sort of fail safe, right? Like if something bad's going to happen, if my heart rate goes above a certain BPM, it just shoots me back to where I came from, sort
Sure.
of thing.
Or what happens if you die in the past? Does anybody know?
Ooh, you're just dead.
Exactly.
Well, yeah, I guess so. I guess we
I'm
would.
saying you time travel and die.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I hear
Because
you.
if your yeah, because if Marty's past self had died, like in Back to the Future 2, if Marty had died in 2015, would his future self exist?
No.
right?
Right.
Like say he was doing the hoverboard
gotcha.
thing and he got hit by a car and his head exploded.
Yep. No, because then everything would basically, that's where you have those time conundrums that the doctor had tried to explain where it could
paradoxes?
explode or he doesn't exist.
Yeah. And
Or you faint.
or he faints, exactly.
Or
Yeah.
you faint. Oh.
And speaking of that movie and misgivings, that's the biggest misgiving of all. We don't have hoverboards yet in this life. And that movie clearly promised Back to the Future 2 proves.
We don't have hoverboards. We don't have flying cars.
Well,
we don't
actually,
have Jaws 19.
flying cars, they are
Not hover cars. Not like that.
no, definitely not like that.
that.
But hey, the fact that we can like get the ones that they're testing now, get that going, and then hopefully it leads to something like hover cars.
It's like the pizza that's this big and then he sticks it in the microwave and poof.
Again, I know.
See, now that makes sense to me because that could just be like a dehydrated thing, right? And you take all the water out and it goes smaller, and then it's a rehydrator and it goes poof.
Yeah.
Just like those little you used to get them at like the dollar store when you were a kid. It was like a pill capsule that had like a tiny little thing in it, and then you put it in water and it gets bigger.
Yeah.
Same idea. That's what the pizza was.
Yeah, you just have to wait a couple of days and it'll poof for you.
Oh no, but that's what the machine was for. The
By
machine speeds up
rehydrating it, in theory, I got you.
Sure.
Let's call Black & Decker and get them on this shit.
I'm sure some sort of secret government military base has that type of technology. I'm sure.
It's alien technology.
Well, fucking microwaves are alien technology. The fact that like it blows my mind that we have those things, for crying out loud. And yet that technology has never changed since they were invented. It's pretty much the same thing. You just throw radiation in your food and cooking. Anyways, moving on.
It's like cell phones.
They don't run on plutonium anymore, though.
What?
Cell phone? Think about a cell phone. You're talking with somebody. Well, how's that working? Well, because it's like waves. Well, how do waves go? Well, they go through your brain and they go out to the receivers. What do you want?
Yeah, exactly, right? It's so true. It's so true. It's just amazing. Hopefully one day we'll get time travel with some sort of way. I don't know what, other than beds.
Either.
Yeah. It's such a concept that I love, but I just can't wrap my head around how we're going to figure it out.
No, we're not.
Well, maybe not in our lifetime, but I want to believe we will. I want to believe that one day we will.
With daylight savings time, is that kind of like time travel?
No.
Forced time? No, that's just bullshit.
Or like
human rules.
If I were to call Australia right now, it would be tomorrow. Is that time travel?
Nope.
No, that's not. No, because it exists on a different time. When you go on a plane, go back and forth. It's just you're just going through time zones. You're not really traveling forward through time.
I would call that time travel. I would say, because if something is to be released in Australia on what's today's date? January 26th.
Yeah.
It's already released there, but it's not released here yet.
Yeah, the whole New Year's thing.
So how is that not time travel? If you were to get into an airplane and cross time zones.
Because you haven't traveled in time, it's just your perception is that.
Remember, we only have time zones because we couldn't make one time zone exist
travel
across the world. That's why we have different time zones. It's not because we
But then when it becomes tomorrow, that's the future time.
Yeah, it's a fun game, but no. But now I will say, though, one thing that I do like that is fun, it's not so much to do with time, is you go to like fly to Vegas, you leave at noon, you get there at 1. It's amazing because of the time zones.
Right.
When you come home, you leave at noon, you get there at 11 o'clock at night.
It's true because he had on the time.
Time zones.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the time for you is still that same. And the time for the world is still the same. So it's not time travel. It's just that time perception.
Yeah. And when you go over there, they all believe time to be whatever time it is. And that's why you're like, okay, that's why I believe in this time. You could still go by your local
that's just like going to the future
from.
or the past, though. If you go to the future, they all believe that's what time it is.
Right.
Everybody in the future believes it's 2025. Not 2022 anymore. So everybody in Australia believes it's fucking Wednesday, not Tuesday. Time travel.
Yeah, I hear you.
These people,
I don't think it's sure.
relative to my time, those people are traveling future in time. They're doing things tomorrow relative to where
So
I am.
as long as it's a personal experience, time travel is possible, is what you're saying. It's like it does exist. Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But on a mass
If time
scale.
if time is relative to the beholder,
Indeed.
then places on the other side of the world are in the future. That's what I believe.
Okay.
Because of how the sun works and science.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. Oh boy. Well, I remember reading.
I'm going to call my friend in Australia and ask him if he thinks that we're in the past.
You should ask him.
That's what I'll do. That's what I should do.
Just have him come on the podcast.
Don't know what time it is there.
Yeah. We'll go with that. We'll go with that, AJ. Sure. It's time travel. Traveling forward and backwards in time. We're just making shit up as we go. We got jets that go 88 miles per hour. They could definitely get us their future.
Right? See, I'm telling you. They can do 3 times time travel because they're going way faster than 88 miles an hour.
Yeah, they should be able to go way faster. Absolutely. All we need now is for someone to get hit on the head by something, have a concussion, so they can create a flux capacitor.
Yeah, they need to get their head on the toilet.
Yeah, exactly. Above the
Fine.
Fine. Who's gonna have it? Yeah, man. For sure.
And copious amounts of plutonium is also required.
You can never have too much plutonium in any case. So I agree with this part.
No.
Yep.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yep, sure.
That's what you need. Plutonium and flux capacitor.
That's right. And a DeLorean.
And a DeLorean, yeah, for sure.
I want to see that movie now. I want to see them, if they ever reboot that movie, they have to turn the time machine has to be in a PT Cruiser.
Oh fuck.
I don't think they'll ever reboot that one though. I think it's
I don't think that'll
a
happen.
useless car. No, not while Bob Zemeckis is alive, apparently.
Yeah, even when he passed, how can you ever make that movie that right same way?
Oh, if they ever do it, it won't be.
Yeah.
They won't capture. I'm sure they won't capture that lightning in the bottle that they had.
Yeah.
But Robert Zemeckis has gone on record saying he himself will never release the rights to have that movie remade as long as he's alive.
Yeah.
Good on
him.
Yeah.
So
love your love, you know.
I mean,
you got it.
I mean, time will tell. Hopefully, maybe he can put that in a will or something like that, and pass the rights down to his kids or something.
Or just hope
they can do the same thing, right?
Yeah.
So we don't have to ever go through that hell.
I just hope he doesn't go broke at any point in his lifetime, so that way.
I doubt he will.
Just a need to.
I was gonna say, from what he's put out, I doubt he'll be. I mean, unless he gets right into gambling and drugs or something.
Yeah.
Hopefully he's past that stage.
But he's 80 something now. I can't see that happening anytime soon.
Yeah, no, agreed.
But what is aside? I'll pose this question this way: aside from the Back to the Future trilogy, what would be your favorite time travel movie? That's more of a traditional time travel, not like Scrooged, where it's a viewing of times.
So I guess and that's where it gets because
not necessarily movie, but time travel. You know, if you want to say Quantum Leap, then say Quantum Leap.
Well, it was a great show. I did enjoy Quantum Leap personally. Like Terminator, does that count? Because they don't really bounce around in time. But I'd say that's a good one.
But that's
like
still
that story.
I would say that's still time travel for sure. Going from because they're going from the future to the past.
Flight of the Navigator.
Yeah, definitely.
That was a fun one.
That was a really fun one.
See, now, was that more of the time travel that we're talking about, like joking around about, like go to sleep and wake up? That's time travel. Go into a coma, wake up. Because that was what that movie was about, was it not? A kid in a coma?
Well, no. He was essentially he got taken up in the spaceship and he was put into the future. And then he went to the
Oh, I'm thinking about the Odyssey. Never mind. The Odyssey's the one about the kid in the coma.
Yeah, different show.
It's because those two freaking things start off the same, with a little kid in the forest bonking their head.
Yeah.
That's why I confuse them all the time. Yeah. So anyway, the Odyssey then.
Well, at least the Odyssey, they had the excuse of it's in this kid's subconscious, so it was much more relatable, right?
Yeah, probably the Navigator
Right.
would, yeah, be a little different. Yeah,
A little bit different, yeah.
a little bit.
Yeah, I feel like Terminator is my favorite time
Yeah.
traveling story, just because of the rigid rules. I like that. I like the idea that it's like,
Fair
yeah,
enough.
no, this is it. You go back, and it's for a reason. Like they needed to create time travel, figure out time travel because there was a desperation for it.
Yeah.
Versus like, oh, I mean, any other reason why we fucking figure out time travel in our movies. But yeah, that's yeah, I would say Terminator for me. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a hard time choosing.
I love that you asked the question.
Aside, I always have a hard time choosing. Come on, when is this ever new? Aside from Back to the Future, I'm gonna have to go with more cheesy, not as serious, I guess, like Time Cop.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That was kind of cool in the way that they would travel through time, like in that crazy little sled thing. And then you think you hit the wall, but then you travel through time. But I would say the rules were pretty strict in that as well. Like you can't touch.
They were.
Like you can go and you can see your other self, but once you touch each other, you turn into this like gelatinous cube kind of thing.
Right.
Right.
I remember that.
And yeah, affecting the past affects the future. And there was also that Jet Li movie called The One, where he like, oh no, that was more interdimensional, I guess. Yeah, that was kind of like both time and dimension.
Would you guys consider Interstellar a time traveling movie?
I've never seen it.
I think I have seen it.
I think
I've heard tell
no.
that.
I'm just trying to think. Yeah, I would. You should see it. I might consider that.
I've heard really tell that I believe is.
Is that really super long one with what's his bun, right?
Matthew McConaughey. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I have seen this. Sorry, I have seen it.
For sure. It's not supposed to be. Spoiler alert. It's not supposed to be a time travel movie. Like that's not the setup at all. But that's what the reveal is towards the end. You're like, oh wow. So his whole goal was basically to talk to himself in the past, and that's what he did. And it's because of Christopher Nolan and his insane attention to detail. He did it in a way that it all plausibly makes sense. If all that technology existed, something like this could happen. Because that's just
And speaking of Christopher Nolan, Speaking on Christopher Nolan time travel, have you watched Tenet?
No, I think we'll be watching it tonight or tomorrow. I've been meaning to watch it.
That was actually, it's long and quite involved, but he also did Inception, correct?
Yeah, he likes those long and quite involved movies.
he had it definitely has that Inception vibe to it.
Okay.
Like just that, like whatever Christopher Nolan lacquer is over top of that whole, right, kind of thing. Because he does.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say the Batman movies are very Christopher Nolan-y, not as much as say Memento or Interstellar.
Yeah,
One
I hear it.
Yeah,
those
three I feel have like one kind of vibe to them, whereas the Batman movies had a very different, Christopher Nolan touch, if you will.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah, for sure. I mean, and that's probably because Warner Brothers, but we're not going to get into that because they're. But you're absolutely right. I would agree. The Batman movies are a bit of a different flavor. There's obviously Nolan's imprints are all over it. He wrote and directed the movies, but his projects that he does outside of established projects are very unique. Like you look at the Prestige. The Prestige is another one.
His original projects,
for sure.
are very, very, very different. I didn't find I still don't 100% understand Inception, but I understand the Batman movies.
Well, yeah, I don't think you're supposed to. I think Inception's always supposed to be one of those movies where you're always supposed to guess something in it. That's the way it's designed. Yeah, I'm guessing Tenet's the same, but I haven't seen it yet, so I'll let you know when I do. For sure.
Yeah, Memento. I would harken back to Memento, where if you don't watch it in the proper order, you don't really get it.
Yeah.
But there is on the special edition DVD, they had like a special feature where you could watch all the scenes in the order of a traditional story from start to finish,
Right.
kind of thing.
Yeah. Crazy to think that was his first movie. Fuck.
Great movie.
Oh, amazing movie. Amazing.
Wow, time travel's over here and we're over here.
Well, you think about Memento. Memento is like a time travel movie for the audience. The way they tell that story, they do it in a way so that well, they're basically telling it to you in reverse, basically, but you don't know that until.
Nah, I'm going to disagree.
All right. Okay. You disagree with me.
I'm going to disagree with the going in reverse thing, because with like with the special edition, it was, I believe it was all the black and white scenes first.
Okay.
And then it transitions into color. Whereas if you watch it the way Christopher Nolan had intended it, those are all interspersed with each other.
Right.
It goes black and white color, black and white color, black and white color. So I don't know if you're watching it in reverse really, per se, but
okay,
you're watching it in a different order, a la Pulp Fiction, for sure.
Yeah.
Right? There's another movie that you could kind of say has that time travel for the viewer,
all right,
kind of thing, right?
Cool.
Where you're jumping around a bunch of, yeah.
All right.
Cool.
Yeah, definitely cool. Yeah, I just still think it's amazing that that guy has gone on to create these unbelievable mind-bending movies. And now I didn't realize. Oh, I kind of intended it was a bit time travel related, but not to the point that it was. I guess more of the concept of the movie. So I really wanted to see it, to see how well they did.
From what I remember, it's more time manipulation.
Okay.
But that's all I'm going to say.
All right.
And it's one of those movies that I'd have to rewatch. It's one of those, you could watch it once or twice and still get something out of it.
For sure.
Like Inception, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Right on.
Yeah, what to say? I've never seen it.
I know. I can't comment. I've only seen the one trailer in theaters. That's it. I still remember the car scene. That was a big deal. That was awesome. Basically unfolds in time. Anyways, I don't want to spoil it because I want to watch it.
Cool.
Cool indeed. Yeah.
Cool.
Cool. Yeah, that's cool.
But what other time traveling stuff do we want to go over?
I don't know. Is there anything that you guys can think of? I know I 100% can't. That's like off the beaten path of traditional time travel, because a lot of the time travel I don't want to say properties. A lot of the time travel movies and video games and TV shows, they kind of have the same properties, same rules, right, aside from things like the Terminator, where you can't go back. You go to the fucking past, you're stuck in the past, right?
Yeah.
Can you guys think of anything else that's like that?
Not a past one, but there was the it's the comedy where he's in the sleeping thing and he stays asleep to the Idiocracy, I think it's called.
Oh, Idiocracy, yeah.
That one's not really time travel per se, because he's just asleep in that container, but it's kind of that same concept. You can't go back to the past,
right?
Well, I guess if we're relating it to the protagonist having the experience, then going back to us joking about it, I guess that could be a considered a form of time travel, right? Because the protagonist isn't experiencing that life he was supposed to live, and now he's in a place where he's not familiar.
Oh yeah, very
he's out of place. Right? So I don't know. Again, I think I'm going to agree with going to sleep being a joke, but something like that, I could that I would consider that a form of time travel.
Mm-hmm.
You are the keeper of time, AJ.
I'm the gatekeeper.
Sure. Did you guys ever see a movie called Safety Not Guaranteed? It was like 2012. It is a time travel movie, but not one in the way you think. I could pull a synopsis up here because I totally forget a lot.
Now I feel like
you probably have. 3 magazine employees head out on an assignment to interview a guy who placed a classified advertisement seeking a companion for time travel. And that's pretty much it. And that's the whole thing, is about these people trying to get the story and him trying to build like a time machine and trying to find someone to travel with them. And it's actually a really fun story about like, is this guy crazy or not? And you ask yourself up until the very end, if like, is he really going to be able to travel through time? And yeah, so spoiler alert, he does. So movie's a decade old. Okay, come on. But it was a really fun concept and idea, and it's like, well, can it really be possible? Like, and then he tries to go through all the details, getting all the equipment that he needs for it, and then sure enough, someone trusts him enough, and they head off, and that's the end of the movie. I was like, that's really cool. That's a fun idea. Yeah, so highly recommend it. Yeah. So
as you were saying that Doritos commercial popped into my head. You guys ever see that Doritos commercial where the little boy goes into the box or whatever with the Doritos and he pretends it's a time machine, and then what the fuck? I'd have to send it to you. It's a Doritos time travel commercial, but there's no actual time travel. It's like a prank.
Oh, I think I remember that. I think so. A while back.
Like the guy goes in the box and the kid's like, it's a time machine and whatever. And then he goes in the house.
Yeah.
And then his dad comes outside. He's like, holy crap, I did travel through time. Yeah. How old are you, kid? Yeah. Or some shit. It's funny.
Yeah, it was funny. It was cute.
It was humorous.
It was a Doritos commercial.
I didn't do it justice, but it was good. It was a Doritos. It was a Super Bowl commercial.
For sure. Probably written by one of those fan contests that they have. Probably not, though. But
probably written in 3 minutes by some guy who had a deadline.
and
he hadn't worked on it all week.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I definitely love the concept of time travel, and I want it to be possible. But I don't know. I don't want to be doubtful. I just don't see us having the ways or means to do so. If there are, we still got to figure that shit out. We still got to figure out warp drive, man. Like we gotta figure that out first. No, it's okay. I don't know.
Well, but maybe that's the answer, right? Maybe traveling beyond the speed of light is the answer to going forward, at least.
That's true. Yeah, maybe it is, right? I mean, figure out how to preserve our bodies while we travel at such speeds. Figure that out, and go from there. Yeah. Well, any other time travel news, gentlemen? No,
I'm cool.
All right. Well, this has been fun. And you out there, you want to know your thoughts on time travel? Let us know. Do you think it's possible? Do you think we can do it? Do you think we have done it? Did you do it? And now you're watching our podcast? Let us know. We want to know your thoughts on time travel concepts. Movie, like, do you have a favorite time travel movie? Just let us know in the comments. We just want to know. We just keep the discussion going about time travel. Because let's be honest, in the world we're in today, we need conversations like this. They're very, very, very important. Just let us know. We just want to hear from you about your thoughts on time travel and the like, and go from there. And for anybody out there that might be going through some things that are unwell upstairs in their mind, we just want to let you know that you matter, not just us, but those that are around you. And it's important to talk about those things. So please do if you can. And if you can't, then we're going to have some links up in our description so you can talk to somebody outside of anybody that are outside of your circle that may be able to help you. But until next time, I've been Harvey.
Deja.
I'll meet you at the Cafe 80s. Just ask for Griff. I'm AJ.
Awesome, AJ.
Nice.
Holy shit. You remember that line right there from Back to the Future 2. Oh, man. Just like that, you've been sarcastically distracted. Have yourselves a wonderful night. Peace.
Take care, all.
Bye now.